Hello, everybody. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Dr. Glow here with Black Girl Everything. We are starting our first panel for 2026, and I'm excited about our conversation today about the $1 million mindset. I've been talking to you all about how 2026 is definitely my $1 million year, what that's going to look like for my brand and all the things I have coming. Honestly, in the last couple of days, I'm already close to it with a lot of partnerships and connections that I've been nurturing over the last couple of years. But I'll talk more about that during one of my lives because I have two amazing, beautiful women with me today who's going to share some of their insight about their $1 million mindset. So I'm going to start off with Crystal. Go and introduce yourself, tell people about your brand.
Ooh, thank you, Dr. Glow. I'm so happy to be here. My name is Crystal Giovanna Ferguson. I am a multi hyphenate. I have three umbrellas created to inspire, which is my mantra. I believe that everyone was created to inspire. So I created an agency with the same name. I also run a chauffeur company, a luxury transportation company. We've been around for going on 9 years in the state of New York and New Jersey. And I am the co founder of a nonprofit called Loving You into Freedom. And we help serve justice impacted families with tools for restoration, travel and food package services for the families, as well as emotional tools for family reunification. So I got a lot going on, and I'm happy to be here.
Well, we're definitely happy to have you. So we have our beautiful, beautiful Miss Francois.
Okay. Well, let me see if you have anything left over for me, Crystal. So, my name is Miss Francois. That's MSS for multi-talented and super sexy, obviously. I
Mhm.
I am a humorous keynote speaker, author, and entertainer. And what I do is I support other women in rediscovering their self identity because you're a woman, know you lose it in many things. And that could be maybe after you have a shift in work, relationship, or family. I help you to make sure you confidently transition into the next chapter of your life.
Mm.
I love that. I love that. You're gonna make me laugh. I'm telling you, I'm excited about all the jokes you're gonna crack throughout this whole
For
conversation.
sure.
It's not
For sure.
intentional.
It's so natural for you, though. You just give
It
us a great energy, and that's what makes
Mm-hmm.
it so easy to connect with, right? It's
I
because
love
it's so
that.
welcoming, which I love. I love. I love.
Thank
So
you.
let's jump into this conversation. So, Crystal, what does $1 million mindset truly mean to you? Like beyond finances.
Beyond finances, I would say like tapping into your inventory, like your inner inventory, your skills,
Mhm.
your tools, your God given gifts. And knowing that you can do all things. I think so many people hesitate and they doubt themselves, or they feel like I got to get another degree. I got to get another this. I got to get another that. And honestly, you already have what it takes, but you're
Mhm.
just looking outside for validation. So I really believe that the mindset starts from your mind, right? How you train your mind. What are you listening to? What are you watching? Visual things. What are you reading? All of these things have the capacity to shift and rewire how you think. And I think if you elevate what it is you expose yourself to, you can like go beyond $1 million, right? Because you already start exuding the energy, and you kind of attract the people that are
Mhm.
associated on that same frequency. So it's necessary to shift how you feel about yourself. A lot of it is emotional intelligence. So beyond the finances, I feel like the finances are the last thing. Like you become a millionaire in your mind first. And so that's by
Word.
fortifying your minds, right? So, and surrounding yourself with like-minded men and women like yourself. So,
Yeah, no, I dig it. Like you heard, I heard what I said. Yes, that $1 million already there,
that part.
right? It's already there. It's already there. And I'm gonna keep talking about how much is already there, like next week.
Okay.
Well, so Miss Mercer, same question for you. So talk to
I'm
me a
supposed to
little.
follow that up. Why? She already answered everything. I'm supposed to say something, so let me just add my 2 cents because I
Add
don't
it.
piggyback.
Add it.
So, my thing is very simple. It's your attitude. I want you to be optimistic and open-minded
Yeah.
because a lot of times we searching outside for everything and we want to learn. Relax yourself. Just be
Mhm.
open-minded, see things, get ready to learn, have a happier attitude, and you'll see how much your mindset will shift, and you'll be willing to, like, let me try something. Let me see how this works. Let me read this book. Let me talk to
Mhm.
that person. And once you could be open-minded to things around you, because so much times we're closed-minded, and we have an excuse why we don't want to do something. So your mind is
Yeah.
already closed. So just have a better attitude about life in general, and you'll see how far that could take you.
Yeah. Yeah. It's all really about how you think about the world around you, right? It's
Mhm.
like that half cup, that cup that's half full, or
Yeah.
half
Mhm.
empty about it. So it doesn't matter if I can have a drop in my cup is full because I'm full with the opportunity, the possibility of filling the cup, right? So there's so much more you can gain from that. And sometimes people need to shift their perspectives on how they're looking at things and
Mhm.
realize that the world is just an opportunity to win.
That part.
It totally, totally is. So that leads right into my next question, talking about thinking shifted about your leadership responsibilities, right? So when we're talking about being entrepreneurs, right? When you start a little business, you start a business. People say, "I'm starting a little business," which I hate people say that. It's
Language.
a small business, and I just be like, "Really? No, it's not a small feat to start a business, right?"
Mhm.
So, Ms. Francois, as you started to grow out your organization and the work that you're doing, how did your way of thinking have to shift?
Let me tell you something. So, you see, I already said multi-talented and super sexy. So, in my mind, I could do everything. I don't need nobody. I know how everything works. I'm smart. I'm intelligent. I got this.
Mm-hmm.
No.
I was waiting for
So,
that part.
so my thing is, in order to shift, because a lot of times, and a lot of times when we're doing anything, we already thinking of the results, and results are important. You're leading, you want things to happen, but I think we have to recognize that you can't do everything on your own, right? You
Mhm.
Yeah.
should start. You gotta get somewhere. You gotta do something. But you're gonna need to definitely focus on, I feel like, building relationships so you could get more things done, right? And as
Mm-hmm.
you start to do your little business, like people like to say, you start branching out, and even after you exhaust your some friendships, because they start in the beginning and then they swizzle out or whatever the case might be, but you're building relationships. Some people might actually have to pay people, but yes, we want the results, but you still need to recognize that you need other people inside of the whole shell to be able
Mhm.
to get the results that you actually need. So build that relationship, get other people, enroll them in, and you'll see how much more you can actually do.
Yeah, I dig it. So, Crystal, you're also somebody like myself who operates multiple businesses. So, as a leader, how has your responsibility level shifted over the years?
I think the number one thing was not like what do I need to do? It was more of who do I need to become. And
Mm,
I think that changed the game because then it made me feel like, okay, you need to build a system. You
yeah.
need to stop doing everything because, like Miss Francois said, you feel like you could do everything, but guess what? You could burn out. So if you
Yep.
don't realize what you're good at, which might be the visionary part of it versus the execution part of it, then you can delegate things. And I think I used to have a hard time with delegating because I felt like
Mhm.
people weren't going to do it the way that I wanted, the way
Yep.
I could do it. And it's like, no, as a leader, you got to train people, right, on your methodology or your framework and give them room to be creative with
Hmm.
their skills, how they bring it to the table. Because you don't want to clone, you want people that can actually execute what you are doing. They
Yeah.
can execute the vision with you rather than them becoming you, and then you end up feeling like, okay, I don't need you anymore because you're like a double me. Like they're bringing their self to the table as well. So I think just creating systems and then empowering people to really use their skills, that helped me become a better leader to help lead other people, but leading them to lead themselves as well.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. I found is like even with my school a couple of years ago, as I started growing out Daisy Dream Project, I realized just how much more they're going to become self-reliant on themselves. They'd had to figure it out. So I started taking away like things that I was doing. I was like, I'm not doing that no more. They're like, what? I need you to handle this now. And then I'm not doing that no more. I need you to handle this now. So now I go and I only do certain things because I need my brain capacity to do all the other things that I need to get done in the world. But I
Mhm.
realized it has made them stronger within their own leadership and how much they started to appreciate the job and how much more they were learning. And it was like, oh wow, I was able to get that done. And when they were accomplishing like, new contracts and stuff, they're like, oh wow, I did that. And just to see
Mhm.
them smile, right? But giving people those opportunities also to lead, which is really important. But I know it leads into they're also fostering people's internal beliefs. So, Ms. Frost, first of all, talk to me a little bit about what's some of the things you had to unlearn to reach the next level? Like, what were some of those internal beliefs about you and the world?
I don't know why you got all you and the world. Some things I had to believe. So part of the thing was there's still me trying to do everything, and at the same time everything having to be perfect. You
Mm,
gotta keep fixing and redoing, and I think we keep forgetting there's no such thing as perfect. You know, people say practice makes perfect, and I say practice make progress. So it's like actually just do it, put it out there, because then you 5 years gonna pass, and then someone's gonna take your idea, then you're gonna see it, and you're like, I had
yeah.
that idea, and I can't. Like nothing's ever gonna be perfect. So start somewhere, and you could always make fixes and pivot and do all different things
Mhm.
as you go along. But just get it out there and understand that you're gonna learn as you go. You know, I mean, look at me now. I'm amazing, right? So obviously, I did something right.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
Obviously, yes. Goodness, all this perfection all the time. I love it. I love it. So one of the harder parts I find about entrepreneurs, even it's just in life, right? Which we making high stakes decisions, right? Where we're like, okay, I'm not too sure I want to make this choice of what can be the actual results. So we're talking about results, we're talking about progress. So Crystal, when you're talking about when you're running your business, when you're talking about like really that $1 million mindset and that winner's mindset, how do you handle making those tough decisions?
I think over time, I have learned not to say yes to everything.
Mhm.
Before, I was so hype. I was like thinking that opportunities, I would never have it again. But now I size it up of if it honors the assignment that I'm given. So if it's
Mhm.
not in alignment with that, I can pause and say no when it comes to making a decision. And that still is a decision, right? Saying
Yep.
no. And I
Mhm.
think that is something that I've had to learn if it's going to drain me or develop me,
Mhm.
and also thinking about my future self and if she's going to benefit from it, right? So
Mhm.
it's like just factoring in those things and not rushing to answer. Sometimes you can be silent and just give it space, give the conversation space to breathe. I used to feel rushed and wanting to say give an answer, and then it was premature. I didn't think it out. I didn't talk with my personal advisory board, which I feel like everybody should have a personal advisory board.
Yep.
um and it's like just being slow to making decisions, because then you feel less rushed, you feel more empowered, and you feel more in control of the dynamic that is at play. So I think, just number one, sizing it up with if it honors my assignment.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that is great, especially that slowing down. I
Hmm.
know I'm a controller, so I'm big on I think I know everything all the time anyway. Um, Not realizing sometimes like, do you really know the right answer right now? And yeah, if it's really going to benefit me, that's a big thing. Because
Hmm.
I'm also a cancer too, so I'm a caretaker. So I'm a
Ooh.
controlling caretaker, which is not a great combination sometimes. Some of the
Yeah, here I am. I was like, that sounds right to me.
That's what I was thinking too. A controlling caretaker. Hello.
yeah, but you got to be careful with that because you want to save the world.
Yeah,
And so
Hmm.
that's what the yes, and you start to forget that your yes is sacred,
yeah.
That
right?
part.
And taking my time with it. So I definitely understand that. So, Ms. Francois, talk to me a little bit about discipline and
Okay.
how that has worked in sustaining your success.
First of all, it sucks. I'm being honest. It sucks. And I think what people have to realize, you gotta not fall in love with some of the stuff you have to do to get there, but remember you want results, right? So
Mhm.
discipline gonna when you have discipline, it makes you consistent. right? And when you're
Mhm.
consistent, then you start to see all the things unfolding and all the things you get to, and you're like, this is where I wanted to. It's like exercise. I'm in the gym. You could check out my IG. I'm in the gym, plus I look good. But I work at it. Do you think I like the gym? You know, I have those people that say, oh, I feel real good right now. No, I don't. I hate getting up in the morning. It's cold outside. I want to sleep in. But when I
Yeah.
start to see them abs coming in and I have the Obama arms and I'm
Yeah.
disciplined and I'm consistent, I fall in love with the results. So if I know what the results are going to be or what I'm aiming for, I
Yeah.
understand why I have to be disciplined and which builds consistency. Is it always fun? No, it's not. But what are you trying? What is the results that you want for your life or you want for your business? You have to make that decision. And even when you get tired and frustrated and you don't want to, girl, I was like, I'm good. I'll get up and go. So it's not
Mhm.
fun all the time, but you have to be disciplined if you want the results that you desire.
Yeah. Yeah. First of
Damn,
all,
why you already
He's stressed out
because I'm
right
thinking about it,
now.
because I'm thinking about how much I really need to go to the gym. But because I love my results a few years back, but it's older glow with cortisol and perimenopause and everything else is a whole different
Oh,
character.
so right here you're starting with the excuses first. Okay, no
Oh,
Oh
problem.
yeah.
oh,
Okay.
oh.
I ain't get there yet. I ain't get there yet. I am not delivered from my
I'm
my
my thing too.
considerations
But
in
this is
this
my
moment.
thing I would say. You have to know who you are. Back in the day, I could just get up and do some crunches, on my floor and I'll be fine. But as you get older, to be honest, certain things are like, eh. So I got a personal trainer because I'm like, I know I'm not going to do it. But when I started to spend that money, I was like,
Mhm.
what time you said 6? Okay, I'll be there. So you know yourself and you know the changes and the pivots you have to make in order to get your results.
No,
Mhm.
I agree. I agree. I agree. And I hear you 1000%. So I'm gonna call you when I'm with my trainer on Wednesday, okay?
Yes, urgency
Because I
to
need a trainer too, because
action.
otherwise
Yep.
I don't listen at all.
Because
At
you're
all.
too busy controlling, ma'am.
That is exactly true. You know that. You know all that. Goodness. So listen, so we're all looking for growth and visibility. So Crystal, now this is a question for you because you're running multiple enterprises under your umbrella, right?
Mhm.
Different businesses sometimes have growth seasons. How are
Mhm.
you managing the seasons with having multiple businesses?
The different businesses have their own different seasons. So they almost don't overlap in terms of one scaling at the same time as the other one or the one being like low. So that's been a good thing. I think just keeping um boundaries with my time, making sure I manage my calendar, not super heavy, packing it to the point where I have no breathing room, but
Mm-hmm.
making sure that I take care of my body, right? I'm cooking, I'm doing things that make me feel whole so that way whenever it's time to grow and to get busy or to get visible, I can do that. With the chauffeur company, we have very high low seasons. Like it could hit just because it's prom season, or it could be low because of the winter and the snow, but it could also hit again because it's snowing. So
Yeah.
it's like it fluctuates, but at the same time, like even with the conversation around discipline, as an entrepreneur, you eat what you kill. So I gotta eat regardless.
Yep.
Like I don't work for anybody. And so I'm consistently being creative and thinking of new ways to just stay in flow where I don't
Mm-hmm.
feel the high and the low, but I can create and maintain like an average level of business going well in all areas. So yeah, that's what I would say.
Yeah, I agree with you with that. But see, the difference between my entities is that they do overlap because they're all
Mm-hmm.
based on the strength of Black communities through education and through business, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like my schools and my special education programming, as well as my Black Girl Everything. All of it goes together because then I have my parents who I have in my special needs school who actually come to my BGE events because they're looking to let their hair down, right? And then I have parents who are looking for childcare, so they come to my other school. So it's they're very intertwined, but I am really clear on managing my time. And I don't allow distractions in. If I'm working on one project, like I keep it at that project. And somebody could ask me a question about something else. If I'm working with Daisy Dream, don't ask me about Black Girl Everything right now because I'm not talking about that. Like I go days without tapping into the other business. I was like, no, 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 no. We can have that conversation on Thursday. Like Thursday, yeah, Thursday, 9 o'clock, you got me because that's when I'm 100% focused on this. Right now, my mind is right here. And I found that that's really what's been helping our growth potential because I'm focusing in on certain at one time instead of trying to do everything all the time because it doesn't
Mm.
work. It
So
doesn't.
you do separate days. I have time blocks throughout one day of like
Yeah.
to each business, but that's cool.
Yeah,
Doing
yeah,
separate
it
days.
depends. It depends on what the need is. What the need is,
Mhm.
right? Sometimes it might be okay until 12. I'm gonna work here. Then till from 12 to 3, I'm gonna work here. But I
Mhm.
also do things. I go to different offices. Like I was in my school until 12 o'clock today, and I was like, okay, nope, going to the sensory gym from 12 to 3. Just also because helps me shift my mindset from one place to the next to ensure that I'm
Mhm.
able to concentrate on those particular areas. So it definitely does work. So, and I agree with you about those seasons, about the highs and lows, is because you don't really want highs and lows because you have to have that consistency.
Mhm.
And I think it really is about making sure you're moving your businesses within harmony.
That part. Yes.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. So, since you're the most confident one on here, Miss Francois, you're gonna answer this question. What does confidence look like when you're rooted in purpose, not validation?
Mm.
Look, woman, it looked like this. It looked like peace. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
It looked like when someone trying to tell you, oh, Miss Francois, this is how you should do something. You're like, thank you. The feedback just rolls off. Feedback is good. But sometimes, when someone is trying to tell you how to do things and they haven't even done anything in their business or their life. So when you confident in yourself and your abilities, it's peace. When someone asks you something, you see, you could tell someone, no, we're not talking about Black girl everything right now. We're doing that. That's you being confident in knowing what you're doing right now and what you need to do and when you need to do. My time is my time. I could tell you no, you could tell me what you need to tell me. That's nice. Thank you. And keep it moving. I don't even need a conversation. That's peace.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
I know I'm good. Drop the mic, let it roll on the floor, roll back. Yeah.
Exactly. Confident, completely confident. All the words that you say. Yeah, because that is mad. So, Crystal, what is your thought about that when it comes to with confidence look like? And, especially about being a purpose, because I know you're definitely purpose driven.
Thank you, darling. Thank you. I have this thing. I wrote a book and I did not release it, right, in 2024 called Audacious Faith. And I think it's just a matter of not needing permission. Like the confidence comes from knowing and standing firm in who you are. And I think many times we've put on the layers of who other people have told us to be. And I think
Mm-hmm.
once you take that thing off, the confidence is there. It's just buried underneath all these things that people gave you, labels, titles, emotions, different energies. And once you get rid of those and realize you
Mhm.
don't need permission to be, the confidence just comes and you can be audacious with how you move and how you groove in this life, okay?
You see all the attitude shit. You see all that shit. Okay,
Okay.
that's the confidence, right?
Yes.
That's that authenticity coming all the way through, right? Because that's what we want to do, be able to be our authentic self within the world, right?
Hmm.
And unapologetically,
Yeah.
especially as women, because it comes up this thing about it, especially in a male dominated world around business, right? Now we've had this explosion of women of color who are coming through fierce,
Hmm.
starting these businesses, owning who they are, walking through unapologetically, right? So what are some of the differences you find when women are leading to particular spaces? Miss Francois.
So I'll say this. Mine might be going to be a simple answer, nothing too fancy, no big words, because I can't spell well anyway. But what I gotta say is this, right? By now, everyone know women have some sixth sense, right? We know
Yeah.
when the partner cheating. We know who it's with, when he met them. Okay, sorry, I'm thinking about my own life. But
She had a
I would say,
flashback just now.
She's like, flashback.
but the same thing with the kid. We know when the kids are lying. We know some of these things, and I think for us, sometimes it's natural with certain things, right? We have
Yeah.
natural instinct, we have like more clarity on certain things. And people might think us being female is like a negative, but it could also be a positive. Just like all the things I mentioned, we do tend to rule a little more with heart and love, but that's a positive. That's not a negative, and it's according to the situation also. But to me, at the end of the day, that sixth sense is the thing that's going to help us have like that extra edge on other people, because sometimes men come in like, calm down. It's not even that serious all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. Crystal?
I would agree 100% with Miss Francois, and I would add that there's like a spiritual intelligence that comes with women, and it's like a data thing, right? With the sixth sense. And then it's
Mhm.
also the creativity that women have. Like there's just something about like you're not only positioned with a womb from like to give birth physically, but also a womb to give birth to ideas. And I think when we
Mm.
see different traditional things going on in male dominated spaces, we're able to come from a different angle to still get the same result that they're looking for, but it comes from a creative place. And I think only women can really tap into that,
Yeah.
because we're multipliers naturally. And so it makes sense that we're able to trust our intuition to give us what is needed in that moment, like even nurturing certain conversations. I know, Dr. Glow, you said you have your $1 million is here, right? We claiming
Yep.
it, right? It's
Hmm.
here. But it came from fruit that you nurtured in other seasons.
Mm-hmm.
So we have that gift. Some men just want to go pound straight into deals and stuff. When a woman knows, you got to nurture that thing. You got
Yeah.
to have multiple conversations and you got to build. And then you know that sometimes the time might not be right and you got to revisit it or not. But I think women, that's the superpower that we have to be able to lead differently because we're creative and we're nurturers.
Yeah. Yeah. I wholeheartedly agree with that. It was like when I had a call with somebody yesterday, not yesterday, the other day, got asked for some support, right? 'Cause I realized I can do something by myself. And I reached out like, hey, can you help me through this? I'm trying to navigate through this. And they picked up the phone, called me right away. It was like, oh, I got you. You're gonna do this, and this, and then CC me on the emails. So
Hello.
they take you seriously. And I was like, oh wow. Thank you, $1 million. I appreciate you. But this is someone who I was on in a group with, a group and a subgroup in like 3 years ago. And it is, I'm like, oh, let me ask them for help. And that's what I was able to get. So it's like it ties into that. Like sometimes we can push things, and this particular application has been something that's been on my mind since 2019. I just have
Wow.
never really finished it. And now I'm just like, nah, I'm getting done now because now is the time, right?
Hmm.
And everything is lining up the way it needs to. So I agree with you. Instinct is killer because sometimes I think not right now.
Hmm.
Even a Black Girl Everything space. The initial time I was going to open up a space, I was just like, oh, I'm looking at a space, blah 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 blah. I'm like, this isn't. I don't like how this feels. Not right now. To
Hmm.
when I was doing 213 with you, somebody called me and gave me the space,
Hmm. Hmm.
right? Because everything is about timing. Everything is about,
Everything.
So true.
and it's going to happen when it's supposed to, not when you want it to, right? So talking about, sometimes we tend to have this idea of, the scarcity, right? Scarcity tends to exist. I love talking about it, especially on my platform, because I don't think people realize how often they are within scarcity, right? Um, so Ms. Francois, talk to me a little bit about your level of confidence and seriously about it in reference to why you are not walking around in survival mode.
I like it. So I'll say this. Who say I don't at times walk around in survival mode, right?
Mm,
Because I
mm,
think a lot of times when we talking to people, everyone always like to act or come off like we got everything on point and it's fine. There are moments in life and seasons in life where you are in survival mode, right? I think the whole thing is don't stay there because when you're in survival mode, you're just grabbing for anything. You're just struggling. You making the wrong decisions because you're just hoping it work out and you're gonna just try any and everything. So there are times you're gonna be in survival mode, but I think even when you're in it and coming out of survival mode, I think the thing is to remember, okay, we did that. it didn't work out. It comes back to I sometimes I don't like to use the word fail too much because it sounds so negative. But just what did you learn from those decisions that you make that didn't fully follow through with the results that you supposedly wanted? So instead of staying there, take it, learn from it, do something else, move on. And again, we're constantly growing, we're constantly learning. Sometimes you really and even while you're in survival mode and you hopefully coming out of it, even look back, you're not the same person. The
Nope.
results that you
Mm-hmm.
had a year ago, it's amazing now. So I think a lot of times we're so present. We're present is good, but we're present like, oh, this is not working out, this never works out, I'm not making this money, but then last year you didn't have the money you had now. So understand you're going to be in survival mode in some situation, in some instances, but what did you learn when you make those not so great decisions? And let's do better and understand that how you didn't come this far to only get this far. So let's keep moving, let's keep growing, and you'll even be confident because you continue to get better from where you were.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Crystal, for you, more so not the survival mode, what does it look like to be in expansion mode?
Mm, I love that because I used to live in survival mode. Wasn't a good place. Um, it was not a good place. Expansion mode, making room, decluttering your mind, decluttering your atmosphere, decluttering your closet. I think decluttering your inbox, getting really clear on space because then you're creating room for expansion to take place, right? Because
Mm,
sometimes you can't function with clutter. And so when the expansion presents itself, now you all over this place trying to figure out where things belong. Clear it out. You got to prepare for the expansion that you claim that you want. And I think survival has residue in that, where you trying to hoard things or you
yep.
trying to make sure that you hold on to things really tightly because you're not sure if you're going to get it again. Expansion allows you to be flexible and free. And it just, you know that you're almost like recycling the energy. So know that when you declutter something, you're making room for something else to come in emotionally, physically. Like, I think Steve Harvey referenced it one time. He wanted a new car so bad. And his mom was like, well, you still got the old car in the driveway.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, I'm going to move it when I get a new car. And the minute he moved it, I hope I'm
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no,
reflecting on
you're
this
right. You're telling the
properly.
story right.
When he moved it finally or sold it, she stepped in and helped him get a new car. And it's just like, you got to make a move. You got to make space for what it is you really claim that you're looking for. Because like, we're all on this $1 million quest, right? The
Yep.
whole talk is about $1 million mindset. And we already said it starts with your mind. And so you have to have the bank account set up for that wire transfer because it could happen in one conversation. But if you ain't got no bank account, how you think it's going to come, you know? So creating room for the expansion, having the things in place, whether it's the legal documents, your LLC
Mm-hmm.
in place and in order, making sure that your biannual report is complete, your taxes are done, all these things that people might need to be able to feed you the funding, make room for it so that like make room for the expansion.
Woo! Girl, that wasn't a whole bunch of words that people need to hear.
Girl, first thing I think I'm gonna clear out my side of the closet so I make sure I leave room for him. Right? That's what you're
That
talking about. Come on,
hello,
Ooh,
girl. Yeah, cause
hello,
yeah.
powerful, powerful, powerful,
hello.
powerful. Because I love that you said that because we talk about the $1 million mindset. I tell people you have to look at all aspects of your life. Like you brought up earlier, going to the gym, right? We're talking about business, but if all those other aspects are not winning all the way around, you're not. So people get so caught into like the $1 million mindset. For me, it's more than just money, right? It's really about my physical health. It's about my mental health. It's about how much time I'm spending with family. It's about how much time I'm spending with my wife. It's about how much time I'm spending by myself,
Mhm.
right? It's about all those different aspects that go into this whole $1 million mindset because you need to win in all areas to actually win at all. Because I can sit here, I can have $1 million, but it don't mean I could be sitting here like lard. looking crazy,
Mm-hmm.
not going on hot dates, you
Okay.
know. But what
Like,
fun is that?
swag.
It
We
is
ain't got
whack.
time for
It's
that.
corny. It doesn't make any sense. So it's like people say you want to have this harmonious life where you're winning everywhere,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So for some people, their $1 million mindset might be that they're just sitting, they have $10,000 in the bank that they don't need to touch.
Mm.
And that's it for them. And that is okay. Right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is for everybody. So I just want to be very clear and intentional about that for people around this mindset. It doesn't matter if you're talking about having hundreds of $1 million in the bank or just having $10,000 in the bank or having just $100 in the bank. Or after you cash your paycheck, they goes direct deposit and you got to worry about it because you know you didn't bounce anything the week before.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I've lived that life at some point in time in my life. We like, ooh, can my paycheck go in there this week?
I remember I used to say, people say they go paycheck to paycheck. I'm like, I'm one negative paycheck for a negative paycheck. Struggling.
Been there. Hello.
Yeah, we've all
Hello.
been there. But it's all about making that pivot for the work and really taking a bite out of what you really want and expanding and making space for it, right? And
Mm-hmm.
reminding yourself when you are in survivor mode that it's okay, but sometimes you got to start digging yourself out of it. You just can't live there.
Give yourself an expiration date for that survival mode. Because if you
Work.
don't,
Yeah.
you're going to stay there. Literally give yourself a date and get up out of there.
Yeah, I see people like it all the time. So, what advice would you give women preparing for their next level, Miss Francois?
So my thing with that is, and I'm talking about knowing what my experience has been, right? Because with the next level, I think we start to think too big sometimes. And what I have found, remember in the early parts was when I said a lot of times you can't do everything yourself. So I've been big on building relationships. And you see how you were able to call or reach out to that person like 3 years before that was in some group. I have
Mhm.
realized, especially in the last 5 years, and the relationships have built, and again, it doesn't have to be like we've been spending all these time together, but maybe you was in a group like the momentum. I'm in a few groups, right? And giving of yourself, and the giving of yourself doesn't always have to be money. It could be a listening ear, it could be a conversation, it could be some encouragement, and that's building a relationship. Because my relationship, especially last year 2025, people say, oh, that's my year. No, that was my year. Like, and I see how all these relationships come full force forward in helping me from booking gigs, from selling stuff, from being seen, from getting on different platforms, from platforms I've seen people and I'm like, oh, I wish I could do that. From the planes that I was on, from going like not having to be in coach, it's building relationships and people being able to, hey, Miss Francois, and all of a sudden you're on the next level. But this is all from building relationship, giving of yourself. And again, it doesn't have to be monetary, but it could be in different ways. So building relationships now, because you never know when you might need it in the future. So and don't take any of these relationships for granted. And I'm big on, ever since years ago, and it's now I think about it, I used to say be nice to every single person you meet, right? No, good morning, good evening. I'm Caribbean, so we have lots of manners. Sorry for not
Mm-hmm.
to say you Americans don't, but I'm Caribbean. Have to say good night, and we're not going to bed. It's just a greeting. But how that has benefited me now, as I sit
Mm-hmm.
here,
Mm-hmm.
because of those relationships, people, so much doors have opened for me. So build those relationships now. Be nice, because you never know, that 19-year-old you pass by could be someone that could open a door for you in a different organization, even if it's a job. So build the relationships now, because you're going to need it in the future.
Oh wow. Wow. That's one of the things that I wish somebody would have told me. So I want to go back to, let's say, 12-year-old Glow. I wish somebody
That's
would have
like
told me
50,
that.
60 years ago.
I know it's like yesterday, right? So that's something I really would have wished somebody would have told me because there's so many moments in my life. Like I wasn't the kid who went to college and concerned myself with building my network because I was the first one to go to college in my family. Nobody told me the benefits of what you really go to college
Mhm.
for. You go to college, get a little bit of education. That's fine. You can do that anywhere. But if you're on a college campus somewhere, You're supposed to be building out your network. You need to be part of these different groups, connecting with these different people. So right now in my 40s, I'm like, okay, I got to join this group. I need to join that group. I'm getting there because I'm realizing the importance of it. But for my children, I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, my daughter did this for a while. She has this community. Now I need to put her over here so she has that community. And she has to go over here so she can get this community and get access to this other community because those relationships matter.
Does.
It matters to be able to pick up the phone and call somebody. It matters to know people in particular places. So, Crystal, talk to me because that whole thing about relationships, I'm 1,000, like 1,000 toes down on how important that is with you. Like 1,000%,
And
because
think about it,
it
even in
matters so
this,
much.
even right now with us,
Mhm.
it's true relationships.
It
Mhm.
Talking to
is.
people. Yeah, because what are the chances? Again, like whenever I met you all, that's years ago now. That
Mhm.
was like
It is.
last month. So us to be able to come, not like, hi, how are you? It's like, hey, that's an
Yeah,
amazing thing.
It is.
exactly. I was able to
It
pick up the phone last week, like, yo, y'all got space for this panel on Monday? Yeah, sure. I'm like, there you go, relationships 101.
That's it. That's it. And knowing where people are, right?
Yeah,
Having met us prior to, you knew what kind of panel we would fit for. And like just knowing the caliber of people for different relationships. I love what you're doing with your daughter because I believe in diverse communities, right? Like no one should be stuck to one particular group. The world is huge. So
yeah,
it's important to get to know people and to develop relationships where it's not just convenient when you want something, but it's nurturing that relationship too over the years, whether it's a hello, supporting people on social. Social media makes you feel like you've seen people more often than you actually do.
If you're
But
active, yes.
liking their stuff, sharing their stuff, that doesn't cost anything, but it helps and people remember those things, especially when they have an opportunity. They're like, "Hold up, I remember, let me call her." You know what I'm saying? And I think when it comes to preparing for the next level of leadership for women, I would say you it's not about like the destination, it's more of the decision, right? Because leadership is literally a decision, and then choosing not to respond from a place of scarcity or lack, but knowing what you carry. I think earlier I said like taking inventory of the skills that you have, the gifts that you have, because that already has made you a leader. And I think, over the last year, I was applying to so many jobs, and then I'm like, ain't nobody calling me back.
mhm,
What can I leverage from what I know? And I literally repositioned myself as a consultant off of all the stuff I know. And I got clients now. So it's like,
yeah.
hold on, take leadership, take inventory, stop auditioning for a role that isn't for you. Create your own. Create your own. Create your own.
Okay,
So
why
Yo,
are
that's
you
stop
looking directly at
auditioning
me,
for a
ma'am?
role.
This is for everybody in the panel. Sure, because I was like, oh my God, so what am I missing? Maybe I should really recreate something. You have me, I ain't gonna lie, you have me like thinking for a second.
create.
Yeah.
That's what we are. We're creators.
Yeah.
That auditioning for a role is so interesting. It's so interesting. My oldest daughter, who lives with us now, my granddaughter, such a blessing. It's actually something I manifested to
Aw.
over the years through our work, through momentum. I say it all the time to people, is really opened up my life to create new possibilities. So like my granddaughter lives in my house with my daughter.
Wow.
And I was talking to her about, she said, she wants to be, or she's going to be an ultrasound technician, right? Being very intentional with my words. So she was applying for jobs and she was like, well, I'm going to apply for the supermarket. I'm like, no, uh-uh. So as I spoke to another friend the other day, I was like, hey, you work at this hospital. He was like, oh, yeah, they have all these jobs. I went on there and found 20 different positions she can get. And he was like, just give me her resume. I'll go to HR. I'm like,
What?
It's
you.
that
But
easy.
exactly. But it's about her. Start auditioning for the job you really want. You want to work in a hospital. Why are you working at a supermarket? And I'm not against you sitting there just doing something because you want to make some money so you can take care of your daughter. I
Right.
wholeheartedly get that. Right. I totally respect that. But I need you to start stepping up and getting focus on positions that's going to support who you're going to be.
Wonderful advice.
Well said.
Wonderful
Yeah.
advice.
Because it's not that hard. And look at these jobs, like, well, they want a high school diploma. I'm just like, yeah. you need to go, that's where you need to go work right now. Because that just makes so much sense. So there's so much possibility in that. But, this asking for support, talking to people, and then also really those relationships that you've nurtured over the years, people are going to hold you down.
Mm-hmm.
And it's such a magical thing. It's such a magical thing. So this has been an amazing conversation. I want to thank you both for sharing space with me this evening, and dropping all these amazing gems. So before we close out, I'm going to give you a moment to kind of talk about yourself a little bit, talk about your brand and your businesses. Make sure you tell people how to find you on LinkedIn. As I was told, I need to get more diverse in LinkedIn today. All right. So Crystal, we're going to start with you.
Oh, you want to start with me because I told you about
Yeah,
LinkedIn? All
you
right,
sure did.
cool. You can find me in three different places. If you want personal and professional development, the Created to Inspire agency is cultivated for you, and it's createdtoinspire.org. Um, lovingyouintofreedom.com or .org, either one works. That is the nonprofit that supports justice impacted families. If you are affected by incarceration or you have a loved one that is, we provide so much support, so many pathways for you to be whole during that process because we operate from a wellness perspective. And we have a book that is a blueprint to help navigate that experience. And then for elegant chauffeurs, now if you're looking to step out, black car luxury, okay, we got sprinters, we got SUVs, we got nice sedans. If you want a night on a town or a tour, definitely visit www.elegantchauffeurs, that's CHAUFFEURS.com. And yeah, I am here to support. I definitely want to plug LinkedIn again. I have worked with so many nonprofit founders over the past 6 months on LinkedIn. I had one post that turned into multiple clients. And I just feel like people need to leverage that community. And so if you need support, I do offer complimentary strategy calls to be able to navigate LinkedIn. So I'll send the link to Dr. Glow so you could book your call and we could figure it out for you.
Perfect. That is amazing. Thank you so much for sharing, Crystal.
Well, after
Um,
Crystal, I think we don't have no more time, right?
no, we
You
got plenty
gotta
of
tell
time.
us
It's your
where we
turn.
gotta find you, man.
Let's go, confidence.
Okay. Well, as I said, I'm a humorous keynote speaker. So, for if you need conferences, conventions, workshops, host events, and the entertainment aspect, I do something called comedic monologue. I like to tell people you learn and you laugh at the same time. I'm an author, so I have 3 books. Let That Man Go. Okay, it's not a male bashing book, people, because everyone like, oh, let that, oh my God. It's a journal. Journal your way to overcoming a breakup. Okay, so it's a journal and a book at the same time. It's more empowerment, encouragement, and you let that man go so you can become your best self. I also have something where, because I have 2 TV shows, right? One is the Miss Francois show where I use humor to help others with their dysfunctional relationships, because it's not a negative word, but all our relationship are dysfunction. And if you listen to it, you find out different things to help you and just help your relationship to even get better, right? But we do it with laughter instead of you feeling sorry for yourself. That's just so overrated, right? With that, I also have a book, since I have 2 TV shows, which I'll talk about the other one in a second. But the book is Lights, Camera, Launch, where I help you to build a TV show. Because a lot of times people say, oh, you can do, or you can't, there's no me and team. But I also, yeah, there's no me and team. That's what people say, right? And I'm like, wait, is that what they say? No me and
It's
team?
I and
No,
team.
I
There's
ain't
no I
team.
and
Right.
team.
Okay. So there's no I in team, but I said there's me in team. So my whole purpose of the book is to help people build their TV shows and podcasts, because it still has to start with you at some point, right? And a woman building empires. That's the 3rd book. So I have 3 books. One, the Woman Building Empires, an Amazon bestseller. So check that out. Is exactly what it says. I don't need to tell you what that means. And my show that I am totally passionate about right now, because you all hear I have an accent. I'm from one of the most beautiful islands in the world, which is Trinidad and Tobago. And I have a show called Caribbean Brilliance, where I have people on there that's Caribbean Americans. They show how you come to this country. Maybe you go through certain struggles in your life, but I want them to be able to tell their story in hopes that it would inspire the present and future generation. Because some of us come from small islands and thinking we can't do much, and America and the world look like such a big place, but it is possible. So that's that show. And anything else that I'm doing, I mean, I'm just constantly being fabulous day in and day out. It's just easy for me, right? But you can definitely find me on Miss Francois. That's mssfrancois.com. I'm on all social media platforms. Anything you can think of, I'm there. But I'm definitely on LinkedIn, and I totally agree. You make so many connections. That's where the people with the money is. That's where the people you can build relationship. And if you want to take things to the next level, that's where you need to be. Now, all the others are great too. Instagram, the TikToks. Just so you know, the money people on average make there is nothing compared to the people that make money on LinkedIn. Okay? So,
Okay.
I feel like I'm being first of all, y'all like sandwiching me in on my screen. So I feel like I'm being surrounded by this conversation. But I got y'all. I'm definitely making that pivot between that and calling my trainer tomorrow morning. Um,
Yes.
look at that.
these
We
pivots are
helped
gonna
you
be
in one session.
I
Love
know. No, this
that.
is why you gotta share space with people because you never know how they're gonna punch you in the face and tell you what you already knew.
This is
You're
true.
welcome.
I start pretending like I didn't know already. All right, but this has definitely been great. So again, my name is Dr. Glow. I am the CEO and founder of Black Girl Everything. We have these monthly conversations on the first Monday of every single month. So if you're ever interested in being a speaker, please you can visit our website, which is blackgirleverythingllc.com to become a speaker on one of our talks. We have one once a month, not during the summer months because I'm busy at the beach. But otherwise, I want to thank you guys again for sharing space with us. You guys can follow us on our YouTube channel. Please follow me on YouTube, which is also Black Girl Everything LLC. Also, check out our spot powered by BGE, which is at 29 Elm here in Mount Vernon. We host and curate events out of that space as well. So if you're ever looking to curate an event, host an event, do whatever in the space, we can talk about it. So thank you all for tuning in tonight. Peace.
Thank you.
Thank you.